Good morning, students. Welcome to my today's class. Today we will be going through the textual questions of the ashes that made the tree bloom. I hope you have read the story, understood well. So we shall go to the comprehension one, that is on the page number 16. The first question is, why did the neighbors kill the dog? Why did the neighbors kill the dogs? So the answer is, the neighbors killed the dog out of frustration. What was their frustration? Because as the good old couple, they found gold by the scratching of the land by the dog, and they also wanted a gold. So that was their frustration. They had tried to tempt and please the dog. First, they offered him fish and other dainties. The dog was afraid of them. He did not touch the food. Actually, we learned in the lesson that the dog was afraid of these cruel old people. Okay, so he was, whatever they were offering, he doesn't want to eat that. He was not eating that. So, then they dragged him out of doors. Yeah, they pulled him inside the door. They hoped him to find treasure for them. The dog began to scratch the ground under a pine tree. The couple was happy. They began to dig instead of the treasure. They found a dead kitten. The couple was now very angry, so they killed the dog. So, what was the question? Why did the neighbors kill the dog? Because they were in frustration. They were angry. They wanted a gold like a good old couple. But the dog was not obeying them. So, somehow they dragged him inside the garden, asked him to scratch. They found a dead kitten and they were again angry and they killed the dog. Number 2 is 3 MCQs are there. Okay, mark the right item. So the first one is, the old farmer and his wife loved the dog. The old farmer and his wife loved the dog. So the right answer is option B, as if it was their own baby. Okay, number B is the right answer, that as if was their own baby. Number 2, when the old couple became rich, they, what they did? They lived comfortably and were generous towards their poor neighbors. So here also again the option C is the right answer. The greedy couple borrowed the mill and the mortar to make what they wanted to make. They wanted not to make a pastry or rice pill, but they wanted to a peel of gold. So option C is the right answer. Okay, and now after completing the comprehension check 1, let's go on the working with the text. Let's go on the working with the text. Answer the following questions. Okay. So the first question is, the old farmer is a kind person. What evidence of his kindness do you find in the first two paragraphs? So we have to look into first two paragraphs. Okay, in that there is answer. The evidence of his kindness can be seen in his treatment of his pet. Yes, they used to feed him with their chopsticks. They had made a cushion for him. They used to make him sleep with them too. He loved the dog as though it were a baby. He fed him with his own chopsticks. He gave him all the boiled rice he wanted. A white heron followed the old man when he went to the fields. He never once harmed his heron. Moreover, he often turned up a sword on purpose to give food to the birds. Thus, the old farmer was kind to everything that had life. So, the dog also was kind towards these people, everything that had a life, because from there on, from his own farm, he used to put a sword, means he used to give grains to these herons to eat. He is so kind and lovable towards the all living things. Question number 2. What did the dog do to lead the farmer to the hidden gold? Okay. What did the dog do to lead the farmer to the hidden gold? So one day the farmer was going to his fields. As usual, the dog was following him. All of a sudden, the dog came running to him. He was also mounting with his head to some spot behind. The old man tried to ignore him. The dog kept on winning and running to and fro. In the end, the old man followed him. The dog brought him a place where he began to lively scratching. The old man stuck his hoe in this earth at that place. Soon a pile of gold was found. So, a dog was very smart and it was a God given gift to old couple. We can imagine that because the dog was so good. He found a pile of gold for a old couple under one of the tree. Or we can imagine, dear students, like that the dog must have seen thieves must be hiding a gold there, but his master was so good to everything, so he helped to find a gold for him. Question number 3 has two questions. The first one is, how did the spirit of the dog help the farmer first? So let's go to the first question answer first. First, the spirit of the dog appeared to him in a dream. He urged him to cut down the pine tree over his grave and make from it a mortar for the rice pastry. It also asked him to make a meal of that wood for his bean sauce. The farmer did so. The farmer's wife put the boiled rice into the mortar. The farmer pounded the rice into dough. Suddenly, the whole mass turned into gold coins. Now, the old woman began to grind the beans for sauce. Gold dropped like rain. Thus, the spirit of the dog helped the farmer first. Okay, so how he helped after his death? He saw his master is mourning and crying under his grave. So he felt so sad. He came in the dream of his master, asked him to cut down the pine tree and make a mortar and a oatmeal for his rice pastry. That way, the dog secondly helped his master to become rich again. How did it help him next? Okay, how did he help him next? Then the wicked people had burned the farmer's mill. Now the good man dreamt again. This time the spirit asked him to take the ashes of the mill. He asked the old man to sprinkle them on withered trees. So second times again when the dog saw that the meal and the pastry it is cut and made a firewood by the cruel old people. What did he do? He again came in the dream of the old master and asked him to take ashes from that fire and sprinkle on the withered trees. The old man, the old man awoke. He went to his wicked neighbor and humbly asked for the ashes. Thus he filled his basket with the ashes. The farmer's favorite cherry tree was bare. He sprinkled a pinch of ashes on it. All at once the tree sprouted blooms. The kind farmer heard that the Diomi was to pass along the high road. He set out to see him. The old man quietly got up on a bad tree. When the Diomi's palanquin drew near, the old man scattered the ashes. In a moment, the tree burst into blooms. The happy Diomi stopped and called the old farmer. He gave him many rewards. Thus, the spirit of the dog had helped the farmer again. So the first time he helped by making him cutting the pine tree and make a rice pastry meal, and secondly he helped to put the ashes on the withered tree, then it will start to bloom, and the fragrance went around, and these old good couple saw the Diomi, okay, that olden times the lord, the landlord, the landowners, okay, they were called the Diomis. So he knew that he is coming, and he went to sprinkle the ashes on the withered tree, and he was rewarded by him. Next is number 4, question number. Why did the Diomi reward the farmer but punish his neighbor for the same act? The farmer and his neighbor had done the same action. The result of the two actions were, however, not the same. The farmer's act had filled the tree with the flowers. So the Diomi rewarded the farmer. The act of the farmer's neighbor had caused trouble to the Diomi. The ashes entered the noses and eyes of the Diomi and his wife. It caused much sneezing and choking. It spoiled all the pomp and dignity of the procession. So the Diomi punished their neighbor of the farmer. So, still the getting a punishment twice, the cruel old people were not satisfied. They just wanted to become rich like a good old couple. So same thing, they took the ashes and started to sprinkle on the withered tree from where the Diomi was going to pass in. But what happened? The just opposite thing happened. The sprinkled ashes went in the eyes of the horses and the chariots and the people who were around in the procession, and the Diomi's eyes, he was so angry. So the same act was done by the cruel people. They were punished and put to death. So dear students, this was the working with the text and the comprehension check 1 we have completed. So write down all these question answers in your notebook with good handwriting. Have a good day and thank you to